Right, so the ongoing story for much of this week has been the announcement that Keir Starmer has publicly stated that Jeremy Corbyn will not be allowed to stand for Labour come the next general election. And I've done a few videos on this already, covering the fact that this was always coming, covering the fact he's abusing his own party rules in doing so, what Corbyn could do next, and why he's still got options to exhaust within the party yet before going fully independent if he chooses to. But one of the burning questions here is just what exactly is Starmer hoping to achieve by doing all of this? Look at it this way. Jeremy Corbyn quadrupled the size of the Labour Party. He cleared all the party's debts and left it with millions in the bank, which have since been squandered. The likes of Rachel Reeves have blatantly lied on national TV about such things, accusing Corbyn of leaving the party in debt. But the problem for her in such accounts are publicly information, and the truth lies in black and white with the Electoral Commission. Having attracted all of these people to the party, inflating its coffers, clearing debts, much of which were run up under the previous right-wing red Tory fraud Tony Blair, whether you liked Corbyn or not, whether you supported Corbyn or not, it is undeniable the party flourished under him. Since then, of course, we've seen the purging of a great many members, chiefly of the left. We've seen that those purged are disproportionately Jewish, as well as Jewish Voice for Labour have written about and analysed, all under the guise of the right-wing faction of the party, exerting its control and desire for power once more, despite them offering nothing in the way of vision or appeal, crushing the popular ideas of the previous manifesto, or quietly cherry-picking bits of it to appropriate as their own. Starmer has told us all in that gloating speech that Corbyn is gone, is over, and if people don't like it, the door is open and they can leave, if you haven't already, showing he does not care one iota for ordinary members. Members are of no value and no worth to him, except to turn out when told to and speak when spoken to know their place. Staying in Labour means to keep coughing up, nodding along, or sitting in silence under this regime. So, what's his angle from behaving like this? What does he hope to gain from abusing his own membership and party supporters, frankly everyone attracted to Labour by what came before, because Keith has burned it all down? What we have to remember here is that Starmer has surrounded himself with Blairite relics, Peter Mandelson most notably. You can be expelled for retweeting Caroline Lucas from the Labour Party, but no questions have asked about appearing in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book, it seems. But Mandelson isn't the only one. Starmer is so transparently terrible, it's not even hidden. So evidently, it would appear those surrounding Starmer and advising him, I absolutely don't believe he has any political talent and intuition of his own whatsoever. I think he's completely led by the nose, and those around him have decided this is a calculation worth taking. A roll of the dice that will come up trumps, because the Tories are so unpopular, they'll get votes regardless. The calculation is, so what if we drive away X number of members, lose X number of voters? We're appealing to more centrist types. We're appealing to donors as a Tory alternative safe pair of establishment hands. Who cares if we offer nothing for ordinary people or our membership? That's not what we want to be about anyway. Helping people, running the country in someone else's interest. Whoever thought that was what government was for, eh? They figure that for however many members, however many voters they lose for ostracising Corbyn, they think they'll attract more as the Tories continue to collapse. Perhaps they're right. But not only will that also put more people off bothering to vote when there's no incentive amongst voters based on what they see as on offer, and see on offer is a crucial point because the parties worth looking at get silenced by not getting the same media level of platform as the waste of time establishment ones do, making it an even more uphill climb to get people's attention in an electoral system already stacked against them. A vote for Labour under Starmer is a vote to prove the likes of Peter Mandelson right about everything they're doing. So for a great many people on the left, they'll now be saying how politically homeless they feel in light of all of this, to the establishment parties, all in all, that these people are irrelevancies, they don't matter. Some have found other homes. The Green Party welcomes socialists, I should know. There have been others that have attracted membership, like the Breakthrough Party is another example. The thing is, these people that have left under Starmer are who inflated Labour's membership. These are the people who got out on doorsteps, enthused and inspired. It is the most active, attentive members that would have been driven away. Donor cash and an establishment media machine getting behind them, they figure that means that losing these members won't matter. But nothing is as powerful as a conversation on a doorstep, as activism at a local level. And if those activists now driven from Labour in disgust rally behind another candidate, another option, another party even, then Labour can be fought on the very battlegrounds it itself rose up from. What Jeremy Corbyn's leadership reminded the party of, and what the party under what passes for Starmer's leadership desperately wants to forget. People will always point to the crushing 2019 general election defeat to defend Starmer and what he's doing, justify the ditching of Corbyn because he lost. Therefore, his politics sucked. But it shouldn't be forgotten that Labour actually won more votes in 2019 than Tony Blair did in 2005. So again, our electoral system just proves how unrepresentative of public opinion it is. But it also shows that right-wing, visionless, vote for me because I'm not them campaigning does not appeal to people. Apathy will be a greater winner. Starmer's lot think most of the public hate Corbyn as much as they do. But there's no evidence for that unless they've been sucked in by the Twitter echo chamber that they live in, their own sycophantic hangers-on or whatever crack pottery passes for internal polling of such things, and they just act accordingly. They won't have the boots on the ground they had in 2017 and 2019, though, because those people have gone. If they've gone elsewhere, the parties they're now perhaps part of have an army of experienced doorstep activists to deliver leaflets and have those crucial conversations which transform into votes. Labour thinks it can win despite that. With the Tories now seen as an ever greater liability, Labour may well pull in donations from previous Tory supporters, their target audience, certainly. But private donations always come with a price. And that price is a party that becomes bought and paid for by vested interests and doesn't ever operate in our interests. We already know Starmer and co embrace private health provision as a for instance, rather than reversing the privatisation already in our NHS. And when you see that private health donations, the likes of Starmer or West Streeting, and even as being reported today, Dr. Rosina Allen-Khan herself, a practising NHS medic, you can see that politics for sale happening before our eyes. The one thing that could scupper Labour's plans in this way, to my mind, though, is Starmer himself. He has all the appeal of scabies. He's got all the charisma of a plasterboard offcut, and a cardboard cutout of him actually has more life in it than the real thing. The only thing they're hoping against in all hope is that Starmer's inherent dislikability even doesn't come back to bite him. That his litany of lies doesn't get pulled up, that he doesn't publicly implode in a live TV debate. I think he'll go to pieces myself. The point is, they're playing with fire. Jeremy Corbyn opened up a genie's bottle of political activism in this country, and under him, thousands of people have been given a political education and campaign training. They've taken those skills elsewhere, and for them to be used against this bastardised iteration of a Labour Party would be a beautiful example of karma. If you can find a new home politically as I have, you can still make a difference, though it may take time. We need a new direction for the country because having two different versions of the Tory party isn't good enough, isn't going to bring the change we need, especially when it's always going to be one or the other of them that get into power. It's incumbent upon us all to still get out there and face that down, show there are still alternatives actually worthy of our votes. It's what Jeremy got so many of us involved in politics to face down, after all, isn't it?